Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Appreciate you joining us here on Northern Life. And guess who's back? We got Dan Wolf here in studio. Dan, how you been? How's your summer?
It's been going great. Not enough fishing, but still a lot of fishing.
Good.
And just easing on into fall here, and reminiscing on great times with you and Hunter here in the studio.
I think it was April was the last time you were here. We were talking about Ireland, which we might get to more on today. But we're here talking about a feature story that you're airing later tonight, coming up at 10 p.m. here on Northern News Now. We got a quick look for you.
Stranded on an island on Black Beach in Silver Bay.
Deadly boat crash.
Searching for a swimmer who jumped off a waterfall up the north.
3 years after the Grand Marais Coast Guard Station closed its doors for good, the need for water emergency response might be greater than ever before.
They died here, two young boys that were going to go off and do wonderful things.
Enter a brand new partnership forming its own marine unit.
This will be probably the first one in the country.
A Northern News Now special report, Securing the Shore, Thursday at 10.
And Dan, it sounds like the woman's voice we heard is someone whose life has been forever changed due to a certain water emergency up on the North Shore.
Yeah, so this is the third story now I've done on, in the wake of the Coast Guard closing that Grand Marais Auxiliary Station up there. The second story focused on lawmaker response to a terrible tragedy that happened in Silver Bay at Black Beach, which a lot of us have been to Black Beach before, very popular spot. But in June of 2023, Max and Austin are their names. They're two 18-year-old boys from the Twin Cities who decided on a road trip up the North Shore to do some cliff jumping. And sadly, it was a cold day. The water really hadn't warmed up post-winter, and they jumped off the cliff and tragically passed away. And so I was able to connect with this story. I was able to connect with Austin's mother, who has created a memorial there on the cliff where they jumped, and met her there and talked to her about what my second story on the Coast Guard station was, which is her surprise that it hasn't reopened after lawmakers called for its reopening. And so, hearing her grief now still 2 years later, her sadness over what happened, and also her hope for the future, which is kind of the focus of this story.
Right, and as you said, you've been covering this topic for many years now. It is just so surprising that any water emergency up the North Shore, with that Grand Marais station being closed, the crews now responding from Upper Michigan, which is quite eye-opening.
We saw just recently, several weeks ago, a group of girls get stranded on a little island right there off of Black Beach on a terribly windy day. And the Coast Guard flew in from Traverse City, Michigan, which is lower Michigan, to rescue the girls and airlift them to safety. But right now, any sort of Coast Guard response that happens essentially from Silver Bay to Grand Portage has to come from the South Shore of Wisconsin, lower Michigan, those areas. And so not having that immediate response from Grand Marais has frustrated local sheriff's offices, tribes, as well as lawmakers. And so now some work is being done to kind of fill that need. And again, that's what the story's all about.
I'm excited to see it. It's coming up at 10 p.m. right here on Northern News Now. Also, Dan, obviously, as we're feeling the here on Northern Life, so sad with the departure of Briggs LeSavage. Obviously, you're feeling it on the 5 p.m. too, not having Briggs by your side. But happy to announce that Laura Lee, who was with you at 6 and 10, now joining you at 5 p.m. too, which is awesome.
Yeah, and Laura Lee is an incredible journalist, and so the same is true of Briggs and Laura, both superstars behind the scenes and in front of the camera. And having both of those bright lights in our newsroom is just, it makes Northern News Now in so many ways. And so, yeah, I still mourning Briggs leaving, and I probably will be for years to come.
We will too.
But having Laura there as a partner at 5 o'clock is just fantastic. Such a talented journalist, a dear friend of mine, and it's going to be a lot of fun having her there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Awesome fun to come to at 5, 6, and 10. Hey, fun tonight, too, because later tonight, Green Bay Packers They're going to be playing their second game. They're taking on the Washington Commanders for some Thursday night football. Both teams sitting at 1-0. Streaming on Amazon Prime, so you got to make sure you have another service to watch football on. It's happening around 7:15. Dan, thoughts on the Packers and the Vikings after Week 1 wins?
Well, the Packers just bludgeoned the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
look bad.
ugly.
Yeah.
And that was obviously at Lambeau. I'm a diehard Vikings fan. So it was tough to see the Packers do so well.
Yeah, and get someone like Micah Parsons now on the team. Yeah,
get arguably the best defensive player in football. It's just not fair. So, they looked great because the Lions are a really good team, as we've seen for years now. The Vikings, they had that incredible fourth quarter comeback, which was awesome. It was great to see the new JJ do something amazing in his first game and be able to walk away with the victory after that horrible first half. But it's going to be an epic battle for the NFC North this year, as it was last year. It's anybody's for the taking except for the Bears.
Except for the Bears.
The Bears stink, yeah.
We wish you the best, Chicago. And for those who don't know out there, Dan here, actually the commissioner of our Northern News Now Fantasy League. And so, Dan, since I have you here, we got a little more time.
Yeah.
What is it like to have that responsibility, the duties that come with being the commissioner?
It's stressful. I don't know why I do it to myself, because everybody has opinions on how the league should be run. But it is very competitive, and it's something that really brings the newsroom together, and we all get to have some fun in between intense news coverage days, talking fantasy football.
Something to laugh about.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Dan's going to be joining us at the end of our show, but coming up next, we are talking with UMD Athletics. We'll see you in a bit here on Northern Life. Welcome back, everybody. It is back to school for the Bulldogs over at UMD. And with the return of class, it is also the return of college sports. And here with us to talk more about the Bulldog teams and their athletes is the Deputy Director of Athletics at UMD, Brian Nystrom. Brian, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Definitely appreciate being here and chatting the Bulldogs a little bit.
Let's go, Dogs. When Brian got in, I said, how's the school year going? And then I realized, your work probably goes throughout the entire year.
It does. Everybody asks, do you have summers off? And I'm like, I wish. Sometimes it's busier in the summer with planning and prepping for the year, because when it hits September or late August and kids are back on campus, we feel it, and our coaches, kids are back practicing, getting ready for the season, and it's go time.
It is absolutely go time. So now that we have Brian here, I actually wanted to ask you, Brian, what does a day in the life look like for you as the Deputy Director of Athletics over at UMD?
Yeah, great question. It's different every day. We have our core meetings weekly. It's just, any business or company may have, but at the same time, we could get a call like today. I'm down here talking to you guys about the upcoming schedule and what we have going on this week. But a lot of it's the pre-prep and planning and meeting with our marketing staff, our event staff, our campus community, and then our coaches, making sure everything's updated. Obviously, we have this great arena downtown at Amsoil, so the partnership down there, and just making sure everybody's on the same page, and just being able to adapt. If there's a call or a change and we have to make something happen that day, being on your toes and being nimble, that's really the biggest thing. Is not always the same every day, which is something I like and appreciate.
Yeah, busy. My golly, it sounds busy. And so what are your top priorities? Obviously, it's a big time for you. It's a big time for staff, big time for athletes, also a big time for fans who are getting ready to enjoy some UMD Bulldog athletics in their games. What is it like creating the game day experience for the Bulldog fans?
Yeah, fan experience is kind of one of our core elements that we try to work on as a department, and our fans are everything. We want to put on a great environment for our student athletes for all our sports. Want them to feel supported when they're, large crowds, full arenas. And so we think about everything from when fans are arriving to parking, for instance, this weekend at football, tailgating experience. How do we greet people? How do we welcome people? How do we make it easy for those coming to campus? Just that communication method. But then also our cool Bulldog walk at football games, pregame when the band walks around the arena at Amsoil Arena, engaging with fans. It's the music, the video boards, just the halftime entertainment from the band. All that kind of combines into a really good experience for our fans.
Wonderful. And then, Brian, online I was reading that, fans and obviously schools and athletes now, they have to navigate this new world of NIL, where athletes can benefit or profit off their name, image, and likeness. And you were responsible for helping to start that program at UMD. What did that all entail?
Yeah, the last 3 years have been a lot of changes. And
Sure,
it
I
changes
bet.
daily, weekly, yearly, and so our programs are adapting to this. But with name, image, and likeness, it's great. We're really supportive of it for our student athletes to have a chance to go out there and make some additional revenue for themselves, put their brand, put their image out there. And so we're just trying to support them with educational resources, platforms to be able to help them do that. So we talk a lot to our student athletes throughout the year about opportunities and how to be engaged, as well as the local community and businesses in Duluth. And it's changed a lot, but we're here to embrace it and not be stuck behind, and make sure that we're being progressive as well as a department.
That's nice to know. And then what role do fans and alumni play when it comes to supporting the future of athletics over at UMD?
Yeah, it's instrumental. It's key. We're our fans, people buying tickets, people donating to programs. That's how we put more resources into our programs. That's how we increase scholarships. That's how we get great student athletes here, support our coaches, and hopefully see that in the win column at the end of the day. And so for us, that means a lot. It's generating new streams of revenue to support our programs and scholarships and help us grow as a department, which hopefully would benefit the community as a whole, not only the university, but the greater Duluth area as well.
I was checking out Brian's profile on umdbulldogs.com, and you've got so many things to be proud of, but what do you think is your proudest accomplishment during your long tenure at UMD Athletics?
Yeah, I got 3 of them for you real quick. So
Let's do it.
Because I've had this question before, and I've had to think about my 15 years at UMD. One, winning national championships anytime with our men's program here. It's really a special moment. Not a lot of people get to experience, in my line of work, a national championship.
Right.
So that is awesome. Seeing our basketball teams make it to the national championship game, the NCAA regional a few years ago, being the chance to climb the ladder, cut down a little piece of the net with our student athletes was really cool. And then a shout out to Coach Weezy, since football's this weekend, but he let me drop a football play about 6-7 years ago in his office. And
Really?
they ran it during the game, and it scored a touchdown.
Nice.
So,
I was going to ask. It was successful.
yeah, and he gave me a shout out afterwards in the media, and so I always hold that one close to. It's not even anything remotely to do with my career, but
Sure.
it's just a really cool moment. It shows how our coaches operate, how it's a community as a whole as part of our campus, and there's so many pieces that are involved.
And very quickly, before we head to break, next big thing you hope to accomplish in the years to come at UMD?
Oh, I hope another national championship. I think that and full arenas every single game is obviously always our goals for our teams and us as a department, and so we hope to see that.
Hope to see that indeed. Well, hey, if you got questions about tickets, you got questions about schedules, Brian here is going to hang out with us after the break, because guess what? UMD football's got a big game this weekend. Looking forward to that over at Mulaski. You can find info at umdbulldogs.com. But like I said, Brian's sticking around. Appreciate his time here. We're going to be chatting more about UMD and their fall and winter sports when we come back here on Northern Life. Welcome back, everybody. Brian Nystrom still here with us, the Deputy Director of Athletics over at UMD. And Brian, we talked a little bit about before the break, big game this weekend at Mulaski. We got the Bulldogs taking on Minnesota State Mankato. A big game, but also what's in store for Military Appreciation Day?
Yeah, massive game for us. First home opener for football, which is great. It's our 12th annual Military Appreciation Game. A lot of activities, a lot of festivities, starting with the tailgating at 11 o'clock on Saturday. We have a free tailgate for military members, free tickets for military members, discounted tickets for families. We got the Bulldog Walk with the pageantry and the tailgate lot taking place about an hour before the game. We got the teams being led on the field by combat veteran motorcycles, which is really cool. 30, 40 motorcycles, the 148th. We're fortunate enough to do a flyover pregame, 40-yard flag displayed on the field. Just a lot of really cool components as part of this game, and it ends up being one of our largest games of the year. And so we're hoping everybody can come out and just take part of it, honor our military members, but also hopefully see a Bulldog win.
Yeah, it's got to be cool to do that for the community, to honor those who have served.
It is. It's great. I think hopefully our military members and different organizations really appreciate it, because I know we do as a department. I know our team does. They really get involved with it, and it's a special game. And I know that our department takes a lot of pride in it. There's a lot of planning and a lot of individuals outside of our department that are involved that much appreciated of.
I believe game starts at 4 p.m. It also has to be good to see the team back in the national rankings for football.
Yeah, 4 p.m. kickoff. Team just snuck in number 24 in the country, so it's a top 25 matchup this week with Minnesota State, and so we're expecting them to travel really well and fill the stands as well as Bulldog Country. So I don't think fans want to miss this game this year. I think it's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a good one. Let's go Dogs on the gridiron there. But let's go to the rink here. Let's talk hockey. What can fans expect this year when it comes to coming down to Amsoil?
Yeah, I think hopefully this year they'll see some good wins this year for both our men's and women's programs, but we're really focusing, as I mentioned earlier, the fan experience. So we're trying to elevate our music, promotions in-game, giveaways, and we have some fun things planned this year that we'll unveil in the next month. But I think they can expect a great brand of hockey. That both programs, men and women, have unbelievable tradition. I think we're on the cusp of getting back to that. And so I think when fans purchase some tickets this year for our games in October, November, early on, I think it'll be a lot of fun at Amsoil.
As someone who is not from Duluth but moved and went to UMD and then now lives in Duluth, I think one of the coolest things is seeing how the community connects to UMD hockey. How do you go about making those connections between the community and families and those players? Yeah,
it's ongoing. It involves our team, it involves our staff. It's a priority of ours, and as much as we can get out in the community with our student athletes, engage with the local youth hockey organizations in town, offer chances to purchase discounted tickets, and do everything that we can about promotion of the team, the schedules, and hopefully they get out there and have a good time and then want to come back. That's the ultimate goal, and with wins comes more interest. As everybody knows, is sports, everybody wants their team to win, but at the same time we try to be involved in the community. It's one of our 3 C's as our department: competition, classroom, and community. And so that's a key element of it. We want people to feel invested in what we're doing as well, and get to know our student athletes and support them along their journey.
Lovely. And very quickly, too, it's got to be cool to see your, I saw the men's basketball team, too, honored for academic excellence. It has to be cool to see your student athletes performing well off the court, too.
Yeah, they are unbelievable with 4,000 hours of volunteer community service hours annually. I think we had a 3.44 GPA last year. I don't even think I got that knowledge. So 400 student athletes averaging that is unbelievable. And so they're doing things the right way. Our coaches are doing things the right way. And so it's easy for us on the administrative side to get behind that and to support it.
Lovely. Brian Nystrom with UMD. Brian, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Before we go, a big thanks to Brian Nystrom for joining us today, and a big thanks to Dan Wolf here for stopping by. For our viewers, find Dan's feature story tonight at 10, Securing the Shore, right here on Northern News Now. And Dan, you got more to share about your story?
You know, it's really about 2 agencies up the North Shore forming a historic partnership to help enhance security, again, in the wake of the Grand Marais Coast Guard Station closing. And they are doing incredible things, and I got to ride along on one of their amazing new vessels, $500,000 vessels. That's going to be helping secure the shore. So, yeah, that story tonight at 10.
Wonderful. Also tonight at 10, the Packers highlights. If you're a Packers fan, if you're not a Packers fan, we'll still have Packers highlights with our sports team. And before we go, Dan, I know we're going to have our live shows from Grand Marais on Friday night. I know you got to go to Lutzen, though. Check out some fall colors. That looked like it was fun.
I got to ride along in the gondola, and the colors, I mean, this photo doesn't do it justice from my phone, so you'll have to watch the story tomorrow. But yeah, the colors there are already popping off: the maples, the reds, the oranges, and the gondola ride is just second to none. It's the only one in the Midwest, so we'll have that story during our live show on Friday.
It's always fun getting on the gondola and checking out those colors in late September, early October. Well, thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.